Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 161. Today's date is December 20th, 2020. Thank you so much for watching. This is a special NBA 2021 season preview special. Try to say that it's a little bit tongue twister. So we got all basketball in this blog today. I was going to do it yesterday back to back, but I was so tired I struggled to get through the blog yesterday. So I wanted to make sure I got enough rest for this one. So I say, well, I can do it tomorrow, spread it out. The season starts on Tuesday. With a doubleheader on TNT, the Brooklyn Nets hosting the Golden State Warriors. That'll be an interesting game. And Clippers and Lakers in LA to get the season started. So two good games. What I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna talk about all 30 teams at least a little bit. Thoughtful, I think. We're gonna start with the Eastern Conference. Work my way up team by team in order where I think they will finish. Then I give you my MVP predictions, playoff prediction, NBA Finals prediction. Who I think will make it to the finals, and then wrap this thing up. I'm gonna do the West the same way. Start from 15 because it's 15 teams in each conference, and work my way up. Of course, the NBA only put out the first half of the schedule to be flexible, just in case we have a lot of COVID issues, which we haven't had yet. In the NBA preseason, everybody's been kind of clean, which is good, and they've been traveling as well. But I think the NBA, like I said, has an advantage because it's smaller. Smaller team, you only got 10 to 12 players. And I imagine you got less staff than, like, say, the NFL, the NHL, and the MLB even, because their teams are bigger. So I think that's why, well, the bubble would be great for any league. The NHL strived in that. The NBA did a great job and had no positive tests inside the bubble. They had people come into the bubble that was positive, then they quarantined. It was good to go after that. But while in the bubble, nobody caught the coronavirus. So the only thing is they'll be traveling. There's no bubble this time. All 30 teams are involved this time. So it's just like a regular league. I think it's no fans. Pretty much the majority of the everybody. I think, well, I don't know if NBA just said no fans period, but I know some states still allowing fans to come to games. So I don't know if that the NBA is allowing any fans at all, but if so, it's not going to be that many teams with fans. So hopefully everybody stay clean. Well, now it's a vaccine, but I don't think sports leagues have a hold of that yet. I think its priority is the essential workers, nurses, doctors, etc. And elderly people, they'll be the first in line. So I doubt if they'll be giving it to the leagues, even though the leagues have money to get it. But I think the NFL came out and said, no, we're not gonna bum rush or get the vaccine. They let it go to the people that really need it first, and then once it become available for, I guess, the general public, maybe the leagues will get involved and make sure their players are safe. So fingers crossed, once the season starts and teams start traveling, that everybody stay safe and everybody stay clean. But see, the thing about the NBA, if someone get the virus, it could easily spread to the whole team. So it ain't gonna be like the NFL. Like, you probably can have a couple of guys positive and still put the team on the field. The NBA is much different. So I think that'll be an issue. So I'm just fingers crossed that we have a clean, first half of the season, and then they bring out the second half. I think after a while. I don't think it's an all-star game this year. I don't believe. I think it's a break, but I don't think it's an all-star game. I think it still will be no all-star. They might name all-stars, but I don't think it will be a game this year. So which I think is not needed. I mean, I love the All-Star game. The NBA probably got the best All-Star game as far as entertainment. Of course, NFL's Pro Bowl kind of sucks because you just can't. It's not. You can't hit. You can't play real football. So that's like flag football. So a lot of people don't like that. And NHL, I think it's okay. I don't really watch NHL, to be honest with you, but I would put that above the Pro Bowl. And then the MLB All-Star game is usually pretty good as well. But let's go ahead and get started because I've just been rambling the first few minutes. We're going to start with the Eastern Conference. Of course, there's 15 teams. I'll work my way up from 15 to 1, where I think everybody will finish. Of course, the top 8 teams make the playoffs. So let's start at 15. This has been probably the hardest predictions I've done in years. Like it's no... Well, this team I'm about to name, maybe somebody would think this is an easy pick, but I think this team could probably finish higher if they, they could finish higher than this. The New York Knicks, I got them at number 15. Then people didn't like the way they drafted, but they got a new regime there. Tom Thibodeau, that's a factor to me. I think he's the biggest offensive especially other than the players. He's going to have them guys play hard. He's been known to be tough on players to get them to play hard. So, or that factor, the Knicks might finish higher than 15. But not the most talented team, of course, in the conference or in the league at all. I just hope that for Knicks fans that they do finish higher than 15. I just don't see it. I can't put them over any of the teams in this conference, not right now. But Tom Thibodeau, though, like I said, we had them playing hard, so maybe they might surprise some people. Let's see if Kevin Knox make a jump this year, in the second year. A lot of people still kicking them for the Kristaps Porzingis trade, or they should have got more, or but the Knicks, I got them at 15. I would be surprised if they finish a little higher, but I definitely don't see them being a playoff team regardless. Just not talented enough to me. At number 14, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers, they made some changes. Christian Schaff is finally gone, so like that whole LeBron era, like most of those players are gone. I think Kevin Love's still there. I forgot about Kevin Love, but he's been a trade rumor for years, so will Cleveland finally do that this year? I like the young guard Saxon. I think he'll improve. Just like New York, Cleveland, got a lot of young guys. Can they finish higher than 14? Maybe, but I don't see them being a playoff team at all. I think it's going to be another rough year for the Cavs. I think they finish 14th. At 13, I got the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls, they made some nice moves. Got some nice young players. Zach LaVine definitely has matured now. I kind of see why they were trying to push him through the slam dunk contest. I think he really wants to win. I really believe that the way he been carrying himself. When you see him in interviews, I think he's serious about what I think he would be serious. I don't think he just want to be known as a dunker. Because he got some game. I think he averaged over 20 points last year for the Bulls. I think they got a new coach as well. I can't think of who it is right now. But like I said, the league, as far as talent, this is probably the most deepest talent league we had and ever. Like everybody has something to bring to the table. But the Bulls, like I said, just if you compare them to other teams, I just think they just and lack of talent. But I think they will get better. You'll see some flashes, but I think they will miss the playoffs again and will be in the lottery once again this year. At number 12, the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets, of course, ran by Michael Jordan, who gets criticized all the time by the moves he makes. They drafted the young Ball brother, LaMelo Ball, He's looked pretty decent in preseason. I see flashes of highlights. He looked pretty good. The team looks okay, but like I said, if you compare him to the other teams in the conference, just don't think they lacking. Maybe they add a piece or two. Maybe they could be a playoff team next year, but I don't see it this year. Got them finish at 12th. Now these are teams that's gonna get interesting that maybe can make pushes to the playoffs, but I'm gonna just put them here for now. But I would be shocked if one of these teams make the playoffs. The 11, the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, everybody knows Trae Young. The young guard can score from anywhere on the floor. Basically another Steph can shoot it from anywhere. They added Rajon Rondo for some veteran leadership. I think that will make a difference. I think everybody criticizing him, but people were surprised that he went there. People just say, well, he just basically chose the money, which it might be true. I mean, he's getting older. He's probably just want to get his last payday. Maybe he might be traded. Maybe not this year, but maybe he might be traded to another contender again to get a chance to win again. He almost went to the Clippers, which would have been interesting, but he chose the Atlanta Hawks. I think he helped Trae Young. And they got some young talent there in Atlanta as well. Just defensively, they've been bad in the last few years. I think they've been like the bottom of the barrel in defense. So if that somehow improves, some things go their way, I can see them maybe making it to the bottom of the East, maybe the 8th. But they're definitely a fun team to watch. But I don't see them making the playoffs as of now. And I want to say this, but I guess it's just the truth. Injuries, unless injuries gets involved with some of these teams ahead of them, maybe they can finish higher. But as of right now, I only see them finishing 11th in the East. At number 10, the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are an interesting team with Blake Griffin leading the way there. I know it's just preseason, but I see this through highlights, and they haven't looked sharp yet. Probably gonna take them some time, but I mean they got Griffin and some good players around him. So maybe Detroit can make a run. But like I said, there probably have to be some teams falling that's in front of them off the map somehow. But they have a shot to make the playoffs, but I think they'll fall short again this year. At number 9, the Orlando Magic. The Magic has been a playoff team the last couple of years. That's 7th seed. But I think Washington and Russell Westbrook, and then the other teams in the East that's been solid. I think they'll miss it this year. But if they continue to get better, Markelle Fultz, he's been improving his game. And they got a lot of, like I said, they got a lot of talent there in Orlando, a lot of young talent. Maybe they can make a push. Wouldn't shock me if they make the playoffs. But like I said, they've been a playoff team. They have a little bit of experience now, so would surprise me. Like I said, but I just like Washington at 8, which I'm about to talk about them with Russ. I think this Rush I just don't see Rush not making the playoffs. So that's why I feel like if they would have added him, and they still would have had John Wall, I don't know, I probably still would put the Wizards there because I like John Wall and Bradley Beal together when it was together. So I think they would have made an improvement and made it. So and I think that's how Orlando benefited with Washington being pretty much on the table, with John Wall being on the table for a year and a half. So, but the Magic could prove me wrong. They've been in the playoffs the last few years. So we'll see. Is Eric Gordon healthy? Because he was bumped up when he was in the bubble. So got a lot of young talent there. So like I said, Orlando can make a push up. But I like the Wizards at 8. And the Wizards, the big trade for Wall, for Westbrook. Like I said it at the time, it's like getting the same player. But Westbrook is a little older, but he's more experienced. I think he'd be motivated. A lot of people counting him out. Then Bradley Beal. I think they fit together his Bradley Beal because he don't mind. He can be a spot up shooter if he wants. You know, so I think that backcourt could work together. Then with other pieces around the Wizards, I think they can. I think they'll be a playoff team at number 8. At number 7, the Indiana Pacers. Putting them here out of respect. Victor Oladipo. And then the emergence of the guard that was in the bubble. Dang it, I hate when I get brain farts, man. And I'll be wanting to write more notes, but it's just I'll be having so much other stuff to write, and I don't put the notes there. But dang it, I just hate this. But if he comes back and play well, them two together, and then the other young talent around the Pacers, I think they'll make it to 7th. Now they got a new coach. They decided to let Nate McMillan go, which I didn't agree with, but I got them finish at 7th. At 6, now we start to get interesting here. The Boston Celtics. Again, as I say about other teams, I wouldn't be surprised if they finish higher. But I think this is a prove-it year for me for Boston. Boston has been on the doorstep for years. Daddy Ainge, yeah, everybody talk about how good Daddy Ainge run the team, and I think he has done a good job as a GM. Getting the lottery capital that he has, drafted Tatum and Jaylen Brown and the other talent, but they let Gordon Hayward go, and he went to Charlotte, which I didn't mention when I was talking about the Hornets. He's a decent player, so like I said, Charlotte's going to be a team to watch out for this year. But they gave him a lot of money too, so a lot of people think that was a mistake by Michael Jordan, but Boston, like I said, they I think for them to finish higher, I think Tatum and Brown have to make steps in their game. I like Jason Tatum. I think he has a potential to be a superstar in this league. And they think them guys still young. They still in their early 20s, so they got plenty of time to get better. But they let Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker's still there. He's hurt. I think he'd be a key. So if he comes back healthy, Boston, like I said, they can finish higher than 6. But I definitely don't see them getting to the top 3. I think the top 3 I got here is solid. But they can finish higher than 6 with the talent that they have. But like I said, we'll be shocked if they finish higher than 6. But I have them 6 right now. And they'll be a factor in the Eastern Conference. So definitely just too talented. So they're going to play well. But just think they're gonna have to like I said, it's a sort of improvements to be here. I think if they if they do finish 6, I think Boston fans gonna start getting a little antsy, and they always involved in trade rumors, so see if they make a big move. You know, they think they should have got one of the superstars like Anthony Davis when he was available for trade, but he wouldn't really want to go there. I think that's why, or try to get Harden, even though that Harden now wouldn't mind going there. Add him to either Tatum or Brown. That'd be a good combination with Kemba Walker too. Yeah, I mean, with the way Harden game is, a lot of people think Harden wouldn't fit, but Celtics, I think, like I said, I got to put them 6 until further notice. I think they had to prove it to me. At number 5, the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, you know, they made the NBA Finals last year. Jimmy Butler leading the way. The young talent Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo. I think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year this year. I think Miami will be a force. But I only got them finishing 5th. They might kick up to 4, but I don't see them finishing higher than that. But I think once the playoffs start, they'll be just as formidable as anybody else. I don't think they need home court or any of that stuff. I think they can win any series. Gordon Dragic, hopefully he's healthy now. He got hurt in the NBA Finals. Um, so they're a deep team. And they're in the rumors for Harden. Now, I think that would be interesting, Harden to Miami. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But as the team looks right now, they'll be formidable. And they give any team a rough time because how hard they play on the defensive end as well. And Jimmy Butler, you could tell he's motivated, really wants to win. So I got Miami finishing 5th, maybe 4th at the most. But they gonna be a factor regardless of where they fall in the playoff picture. At number 4, the Toronto Raptors. Again, people count them out. Haven't heard a lot of predictions of them going too far in the postseason this year. Which I heard from experts. And like I said, I think the Raptors, with P.L. Siakam, they kept Fred VanVleet. I think that was huge for them to keep him. He was on the free agent market, but they wound up keeping him. They got that young kid, OG. I think OG. See, I know you got a weird name, but I know that's OG. He's looked good in the preseason. I seen a few of their highlights. Kyle Lowry still like Kyle. Like I said, when they won the title, that was been 2 years. The year before last. Even though, like I said, the Warriors was hurt coming into the finals. Granted, but still, he played well, and I think that lifted his. He plays freer now. He don't seem like he got a lot of pressure on him now. And regardless, he's a champion. I think he plays a lot more free, and which I think made him a better player. So he's gonna come and play well. But yeah, Siakam to me, I think, he's been improving since he's been in the league, but I think he got to make another step for the Raptors to really be a factor. He had to be almost superstar level. I don't know if he can step up to that, but if he plays out of his mind, him and Kyle Lowry, Toronto could be a factor as well. But I think 4th is a good spot for them here in the Eastern Conference. So we get to the top 3. Number 3, the Philadelphia 76ers. Made some improvements getting Steph Curry's little brother from Dallas. I think that's a huge pickup, underrated pickup. Playing for his father-in-law, Doc Rivers. I think Doc Rivers will be a factor. And get the Sixers to stay focused. Get Joel Embiid maybe to stay focused. Ben Simmons. Of course, they in the trade rumors for Harden as well because of Daryl Morey, who's now their new GM. So the Philadelphia 76ers looking like they seriously ready to win or try to win here. I think Doc will have these guys focused. I think Joel Embiid to stay engaged. I think you could tell when they went to the bubble, he wasn't feeling it. He looked like he was halfway in, halfway out. Ben Simmons, I think, was hobbling at the time. But I think he's back healthy. I think he's a great player. Of course, he needs to improve his shooting. We all know that. But he's still a gift for passing the basketball. He need to get to the basket. So I think they just on that alone, they would be improved. I think they'd be a factor. Maybe a finals contender. Let's say if the top 2 teams, one of these top 2 teams have an injury or we about to talk about Brooklyn. Of course, you should know who the last 2 teams are now. But Philadelphia, they're going to definitely be a factor. I think they might even make a run at the finals finally this year. And Doc Rivers will improve this team. I think Joel Embiid might be even an MVP candidate. That's how big of a year he might have. So Sixers, definitely a team to look out for this year. I got to finish at 3rd. At 2nd, the Brooklyn Nets. We all know Kevin Durant is back. Kyrie Irving is back. With the deep talent with Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie, Allen. They're just a deep team. Some experts saying this could blow up. Kyrie could, be Kyrie and mess this whole thing up, mess up the chemistry with this team. But Kevin Durant, to me, if he's anything like he used to be, I just don't see them not succeeding, at least in some type of way. He's too great. He looks great now. The last I just seen him, I think the other day, I think they played Boston, and if they played like this, now I know it's just preseason, but the way they moved the ball, everybody got involved. Curtis LeVert even got some plays ran for him. Kevin Durant can flow into it, can fit into anywhere, because he don't have to have the ball in his hands. To me, he can still spot up, shoot, or get the ball, make one little move, pull up from wherever on the court. Kyrie, yeah, he needs the ball in his hands, but I think if he really focus on just being a point guard and just get his points here and there, Brooklyn is going to be a tough team to beat, period. And could possibly finish number 1, but I got them 2 because I respect Milwaukee, and I think them getting Drew Holiday, and I think Giannis going to be motivated, and they team with Chris Middleton, just give them respect. I think they might finish 1, and Brooklyn will finish 2nd. Let's talk about the Bucks a little bit. Giannis got his money, so he's dedicated for at least the next 5 years here in Milwaukee. 205, I think 205 million, something like that, for 5 years. Was shocked a lot of people. A lot of people thought he would wait. But I think he's the type of guy, like people say, he's the type of guy that will stay home. I think he's going to win. Not necessarily on his own, but he don't want to just link up with anybody and just try to win a ring. He wants to win, but I think he wants to do it sort of his way. Just a loyal guy, he likes Milwaukee, at least that's what he says. So I think he's dedicated to the city. That's what was his words that he used. I think he said that for a guy like Damian Lillard staying in Portland. We're about to talk about the Western Conference. I think it's noble. I'm glad for it because it makes the league, like I said, this league is so deep in talent. Like I just listed all these teams, and like I said, every team has the potential to finish higher than where they sit. They sit. These are just my opinions, but Milwaukee would definitely be a finals contender with Giannis. Now, Giannis, like I said, his shooting has been an issue, and in the playoffs, they seem like they can't fit past the. Well, they did get to the Eastern Conference the year before, but this year, Miami took them out, pretty much wiped them out in 5. It should have been 4. But Giannis did get hurt, to his credit this time. But still, I think he's taking the responsibility. Like, look, I gotta get better, and if I get better, we can make the finals at least. So Milwaukee will definitely be a factor. I think Drew Holiday, a lot of people talk about this guy. He's probably the most underrated player in this league. He's definitely an upgrade from Eric Bledsoe. Milwaukee will be a factor. Chris Middleton, I think he's improving he's improving his game, becoming more consistent. So Milwaukee will be a factor, and that's why I got them finishing 1 in the East. So just real quickly, review that stuff from top that go down. Milwaukee 1, Brooklyn 2, Philadelphia 3rd, 4th, Toronto 5th, Miami, Boston at 6th, Indiana at 7th, Washington at 8th. And then the other bottom half of the East, Orlando, Detroit, Atlanta, Charlotte Hornets, Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers. I got the Knicks finishing last in the conference. But like I said, in small little groups, this could be flip-flopped. Like New York probably will finish higher. Cleveland can finish last. Chicago could probably finish last. Charlotte, like from Charlotte, Atlanta, Detroit, Orlando, I think they have a chance to maybe make a push to the finals playoff spot or higher. Indiana is always a roll of dice team to me, but like I said, they improve every year. But the new coach, to me, is a factor. So will they be the same team? Will they improve, or will they get worse? Boston, like I said, is a wild card team. They can finish higher. Miami. So it's like I said, it's a deep league. The East used to be just 2 teams or 3 teams, and that was it. Or just Cleveland when LeBron was there. because Cleveland and Boston, they was the two top teams in the East for a long time. Everybody else was just there, pretty much, even Milwaukee. But Milwaukee got better because Giannis been getting better. The East will be just as interested as the West, but we about to get into the Western Conference, and this, like I said, this has been the hardest for me to predict. It's like the teams that I left out the playoffs in the West, it's like could make, like I said, could make it, could improve. So let's go ahead and get into the West. So I'm gonna start from the bottom and go work my way up. This team I'm about to name here, I got a lot of respect for this organization, this team. They made some moves, some off-season big changes. No Billy Donovan for the OKC Thunder. I got them finishing last in the conference just because of talent reasons. They lost Chris Paul. I think he was the biggest factor for them being better than everybody thought. They was the most surprising team to me last year, finishing all the way up to, I think they finished 6th in the West, 5th, something like that. But I got them finishing last just because, you know, losing Chris Paul, new coach, just a lot of new things. But they got some young talent. They used Dennis Schroeder, so they lost a lot of talent. But the young guys they got there, they lost Steven Adams, so they lost a lot of core guys. So I think this is more of a reset for OKC. The Sad Presti, he's a great GM, a great leader for that organization. I think they'll be back. I think he's going to build them back up. But I think this year will be a step back year. I think they'll finish last in the West. But like I said, they are capable of finishing way higher than this. 14, Minnesota Timberwolves. Very, like I said, this team, roll of the dice. D'Angelo Russell and Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. Towns coming in. You know, he lost his mother to COVID. He's been real vocal about it. Can he focus? And I'm not saying this as a criticism. Like, if I just lost my mother last year. Hey, if he can focus and play to his talent, Minnesota can finish higher than 14th. I had them here. But I just don't. I don't see it. The other teams are just so talented, man. Like, the West is tough. Like we about to go. Like I said, every team in this conference, you know, are playoff. Like if they was in the, you can't even say now if they was in the East because the East is better. Well, if they the bottom comparing the bottom East to the bottom West is no comparison. I think the bottom West is way stronger. Them teams are way better than the bottom East teams, but Minnesota, like I said, could surprise some people, could finish higher. They have some playoff talent. They have a chance to finish higher. So, Timberwolves fans, you should come in. Every team in the West should have something to be proud of, or something to hold your head up to. It's not no wash. Like I said, OKC probably the team that feels like I said, it's really a rebuild season. But everybody else, I think they're going to try to win, including Minnesota. So, look out for the T-Wolves this year. They could be a surprise, but just looking at it on paper, I had up to the 14th. At 13th, the San Antonio Spurs, another team. They got some veterans though, so that's why they capable of finishing higher. LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. They're the two key pieces in San Antonio. Can they right the ship, lead this team? That's been both of their issues though. They're not leaders. They don't take that next step in their game. But a lot of young talent around them. Coach Greg Popovich usually get the best out of his teams. So the Spurs, like I said, they missed the playoffs for the first time, I think, in 20 years last year. They did make it to the bubble, but didn't get in the top 8. So they missed the playoffs. But another team that are capable of finishing way higher than 13 here. Number 12, the Sacramento Kings, a young team. De'Aaron Fox, he locked up, got a contract in the off season. Definitely capable of finishing higher than 12th. Buddy Hield, he's improving his game since he's been in the league. Kings, another team to be watch out for. They was right there in the bubble, competing for a playoff spot as well. So just a tough conference all the way around. Number 11, the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson, of course, is why a lot of people were interested in the Pelicans. But Brandon Ingram got his money. Can he improve? Keep improving on his game. Lonzo Ball to me looks good. The other Ball brother, first Ball brother, he was hitting shots. He was hitting mid-range shots. I seen him hitting the yeah. If he, man, this is a deep, talented young team, man. JJ Redick there for some veteran leadership. He's underrated player to me. He's not just a shooter. He can put the ball, like he was the leader scorer at Duke. He was the guy at Duke, even though that was a long time ago. But he's capable of being the scorer. They added Steven Adams. That's where Steve Adams went. So the Pelicans that have the talent to make a playoff push. Would shock me if they make it. They finish at 11th. At 10, the Memphis Grizzlies was a playoff team last year. Young Ja Morant. I don't know if the kid that tore his ACL, I think in the bubble. I don't know if he's back yet, but I think that's why Memphis will probably take a step back here. I think it's going to be Ja Morant doing his thing. I think they improved. They could, like I said, all this could be flip-flopped. Now I think about it, I want to put New Orleans ahead of Memphis now. I mean, it's just a log jam, man. But I'm gonna give Memphis their respect. I believe in Ja Morant. So I have to finish at 10, but they could, like I said, they could be a playoff team. This is probably the most was the hardest team to judge out the whole Western Conference to me, because they can finish in the top 5, or they can finish right here at 9, or they can finish even lower than that if things don't go right for them. The Portland Trail Blazers is probably my favorite team because I love Damian Lillard. This guy, I should call him a kid. I love him, man. It's the way he plays his game, what he stands for. I just love the guy, man. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Him, my brain is going locked again. The shooting guard, dang it. Hopefully it'll come to me, but they gotta tell the team if Nurkic stay healthy, the center, if he stay healthy. Jimmy Christmas, I can't believe we're forgetting his name. But I think it's too. I still think it's too much pressure on Damian. I think he gotta be he has to be everything for this team for them to make it. But I think he's capable. He's carried this team before. Dang, who's the shooter guard's name? Dang, I can't believe I forget his name, man. I'm getting old. We're getting old, starting to forget stuff. I bet you it's gonna come to me probably later on. But the Blazers, like I said, they can finish 5th, or they can finish here at 9. They can finish lower because of the talent in the West. But I'm gonna put them at 9. They have serious playoff threat still. But I'm gonna put them at 9. Just because, like I said, I think they added Hassan Whiteside, though that helps. I think their front line is pretty good, but will they be healthy? Dame, like I said, Dame will have to have an MVP type year for the Blazers to finish a little higher in the Western Conference, but they definitely capable. So, but like I said, it was so hard with all the other teams here. Dang, hopefully his name comes to me, but I can't believe I'm forgetting the shooting guard's name for the Blazers. I'm sorry, bro. But he's a great player. Just got to get more consistent, though. And the Blazers could definitely be a playoff team and a factor in the West. Number 8, I got the Phoenix Suns. Maybe I'm just a sucker for Chris Paul, for one, because I really respect Chris Paul. I think he's the most underrated player in the history of the NBA. What he's done, the only difference, he don't have a championship, so he'll be in that no man's land, I call it, with Chris Webber and Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, those great players, and not win a championship. But Phoenix will definitely, like him going to Phoenix will definitely improve them. I got them getting in the playoffs at 8. Devin Booker, it seems like he's just getting better and better and better. I see Phoenix play the other night. They look sharp. The young kid, Aiton from Arizona, he's keeps improving. Like, he got a post game little jump shot. If Chris Paul go put them guys in the right position to score easier, I like Phoenix. I think they'd be a playoff team. I got them finish at 8. And number 7, the Houston Rockets. Now it's a wild card. And other teams, all those other teams I named at the bottom of the West, I think Houston is the one you gotta look out for, because James Harden might be gone and he might get traded. So if he get traded, I think that brings Houston down a notch. But Harden's still there, so I think he's a superstar. He can score the basketball. He's still James Harden. So at 2, he's traded. I had to put them in the playoffs at 7, but it's going to be a lot to watch for. Of course, they traded for John Wall. John Wall look so much better. He looks pretty good. So him and James Harden together, maybe we'll see how that works or don't work. But I still think they too talented with him that they'll make the playoffs. So I got to finish at 7th. Number 6, the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, he looks great, man. He looks great. Of course, you know they lost Klay Thompson to injury, which was devastating. I think if they'd have had him, I might have would have finished them, put them higher. But without him, I think Draymond to be motivated to be back. I like the young rookie Wiseman. I think he'll win Rookie of the Year. I got him finishing getting the Rookie of the Year. I think he gonna get easy buckets because of the talent that's around him. I like this Warriors team. If Steph Curry play the way he's been playing, they definitely gonna finish, make a playoffs. I got them 6. At 5, the Utah Jazz. Well, they just paid Rudy Gobert. I just seen this morning. He got a 5-year contract. So I think that's good for the Jazz. Him, Donovan Mitchell, I love that kid. He's I like what he showed at the bubble. I think he capable of being that number 1 guy for the Jazz. I still think they need to add one more perimeter guy to help out Donovan. I think it's the same situation, sort of like how Dame, even though Dame got people that can score, but Utah, interesting team. I think Rudy Gobert defensively. I like the way, like I said, Donovan improved his game, so I've got respect for them. I'm finishing them, putting them at 5. At number 4, this team, like I said, a little bit of roll of the dice, but I like this team as well. The Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. I didn't see him a lot before the bubble. I watched him a lot in the bubble. This kid can play basketball. He can score. He can pass the ball. Shooting still had to improve a little bit. I mean, that's probably one of his weaknesses, but he's streaky. He can get hot, hit a couple of shots, hit some threes. He takes threes. I love this kid, but the thing with Dallas is, can Kristaps Porzingis stay healthy? When they had Kristaps Porzingis, they look like a playoff contender, look like a finals contender, like they can play with anybody. But if he can stay clean, the young talent around him, they got shooters around Luka. Dallas is going to be formidable. A lot of people got Luka winning the MVP. I think it's possible. I think he can win it. I think they have to win 50 games at least. I think they have to get in the 50 game, win 50 games and finish at least 4th in the conference. Or I think Luka would be too, I think they give it to somebody else. But Dallas are definitely a team to look out for. The Los Angeles Clippers, another wild card team. You got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but after that, everybody else sort of wild cards to me. They did get Serge Ibaka. I think he will be a factor for the Clippers. Ty Lue is now the coach. Will that matter? They say he can fix the locker room, with the locker room issues they had. Montrezl Harrell was gone. Pat Bev, could he? He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's starting to get, a little talk to you. He talks too much. He talks a lot of trash and this and this. And I think he needs to just focus. Play your, he's a good defensive player. Play your good defense. A lot of people still think the Clippers need a point guard, which I think they do. I think that is a big factor for this team. When you need somebody to settle the offense down, who can you go to? Lou Williams, can he bounce back? He had a terrible bubble experience. But the Clippers still talented. Can Paul George lock out all the noise and just play basketball? I think if they could do that, the Clippers definitely be a solid third. At number 2, the Denver Nuggets. Now this team, like I said, proved me wrong every time. I be like, well, they're just a regular season team. No, I think they a real contender. Jamal Murray, props to him. He, like I said, I gotta give props to him. He proved me wrong. He stepped up. He's their number 1 guy. He could get buckets down the stretch, carry the team. Nikola Jokic is like a sort of a bigger Luka. Just a big guy. He can handle the basketball, pass the ball, score, shoot threes. This Denver team really grew on me. I give them respect. They got everybody back. Even Michael Porter Jr. If he improves, that'll be another guy you got to deal with. Now they did lose a couple of bench guys. Grant left. They lost a lot of bench guys. So a lot of people think Denver might take a step back, but I just got so much respect for Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. But they showed me in the playoffs that I think Denver may go to lose a beat. I think Michael Porter Jr. will make that next step. He flashed in the pan a little bit in the playoffs as well. I think he will be approved to be that solid third guy, and I like Denver to still finish number 2. So number 1, defending champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. Gotta give the Lakers props, man. I think they improved their team. They lost Rondo. They lost Dwight Howard. He went to Philadelphia, so that makes Philadelphia even deeper. They lost. I think they lost the McGee, JaVale McGee. I think he's gone too. So I think their front line is a little thinner than it was. They did get Marc Gasol, and Marc Gasol are like a big muscle, like he's like a big guy. Like I'm saying, it's more of a positive than negative. But I think he is going to be a little slow getting up and down the court. I think that might be a factor. But he can play though. So him and Anthony Davis sort of playing that between the 2, the 3, and the 4. Small forward, power forward position. LeBron is LeBron, so he's going to do his thing. Lakers to be still the favorite to win the title again. Montrezl Harrell, like I said, is there. He'd be a factor off the bench. Then the other young guys, Kuzma. I think Kyle Kuzma is the wild card. Kyle Kuzma, if he steady his game, gets focused, he'd be a factor for the Lakers. But I think they're the champions. I think LeBron James, once again, people doubting him. I think he will rise to the occasion. I think the Lakers will finish number 1 in the Western Conference. So that's it for the West. Let's just go through it quickly. Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Mavericks, Jazz, Warriors, Rockets, Suns. That's my top 8. Then at the bottom, I got Portland, which could go higher. Memphis, capable of go higher. New Orleans, capable. Sacramento, capable. San Antonio, capable. Minnesota, capable. And OKC, I think this is a sort of a build in the air, but who knows what Sam Presti can do. So they can finish higher. This league is just, like I said, the most deepest talent. This is the hardest. It took me a long, I'm still second guessing some of my decisions here, or who finished who. Like the Blazers is one. I want to put higher. Like I said, God forbid injuries. This is what I decided to go with. So I could be way off on some of these teams, good and bad. So we'll see. It should be an exciting season. Like I said, just hopefully everybody stay clean from the coronavirus and everybody stay healthy as well and other injuries, and we can have a great NBA season. So quickly, let's go. Matter of fact, I usually will I'm not going to break it down round by round. I'm just going to who I think will make the Eastern Conference Finals, who I think will make the Western Conference Finals. In the East, I think it will be Brooklyn and Milwaukee at the end of the day. I think Philadelphia will challenge. I like Miami as well. Toronto, that top half of the East. But I think it'll be Milwaukee and Brooklyn at the end of the day. And I'm going to go with the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Brooklyn Nets will come out the East. I think Durant, will take over in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think him and Giannis will have a great battle. But I just think overall they are the deeper team. If, like I said, Kyrie hone in and stay focused, I think the Nets honestly, I do think the Nets is the better team. But I just think Milwaukee been together a little longer with Giannis. I think that's why they would finish a better record. I think Brooklyn will have those nights where, they don't break it off as right. But if they play up to their potential, they will come out the East. So I'm going to go with the Brooklyn Nets out the East. Out the Western Conference, I got the Denver and the Lakers meeting again. The Clippers definitely are capable of Dallas. Only because I got them finishing fourth. I don't think they beat the Lakers. But that top four, like Utah could be a monkey wrench. So can the Warriors. Phoenix as well, because Chris Paul, like I said, Chris Paul is a factor. But they would have to beat the Lakers early. But I'm going to go with the top two teams here. I don't think the Clippers, I think Denver, like I said, Denver not having a point guard, I think that matters. So I got the Lakers and the Nuggets again, and I think the Lakers will beat them again because the Nuggets, still, despite all their experience, I think they still young. I think the Lakers will overtop them. So I think they're going to be the Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA Finals. And I think just because of the Lakers, like I said, the front line, even though Brooklyn front line is pretty good with Allen and DeAndre Jordan. But I think LeBron and Durant, I think it'll be a great series in the finals. But I think the Lakers will overcome it. I've got it. They're winning in 6 or 7 games. So I got the Lakers being a champion once again, going back to back. And I think Brooklyn, predicted for next season, I think they would be the team to come in to the next year because Kyrie and Kevin have played for a whole year, be real familiar with each other. But the Brooklyn Nets, to me, is the deepest team in the NBA. Like, they capable of winning the championship as well. But I'm going to go with the Lakers because I think the Lakers will be more cohesive. I think the Nets, like I said, will have some issues with bonding and playing together, even though most of the core have played together maybe 2 years with LeVert and Dinwiddie. They've been there a while. But throwing Durant and Kyrie in there, I think will be, I think they won't be as sharp yet, even though they look sharp the other night. Like I said, if they play like that, they're the best team in the NBA, even over the Lakers to me. But I think the Lakers will do it. I think they will win it again and become back-to-back champions. So that's my predictions for the season. Like I said, awards, 6th man of the year, I'm not even going to touch that because the way the NBA is now, somebody will come off the bench and then start and then come off the bench, I mean, so you just never know. I guess Lou Williams would be a contender. Maybe Montrezl Harrell, who won it last year, he'd be a contender again for the Lakers. Karis LeVert, if he don't start for the Nets, or Dinwiddie, they could be a 6th man. Miami, how deep they are, they can have a 6th man. So I didn't predict that. What I admit, I just was like, I can't pick nobody. But MVP, I got Kevin Durant because I think Brooklyn will be a factor. I think Luka will be in the conversation. I think LeBron going to get some look at this year. If he averages 10 assists again, I think he'll get a look. But I think just him having Anthony Davis, I think that he loses votes on that. I think they cancel each other out a little bit. I think a lot of people say, I see some experts say Jokic for Denver, the center. That's possible if they still finish 2 again. I think he'd be talked about. But I think it's going to come down between Durant and Luka Doncic. I think Durant will overtake him and win most of the comeback player of the year easily. Like, he got that in the bag as well. I think Bam Adebayo for Miami, I think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. And I got James Wiseman winning Rookie of the Year for the Golden State Warriors. So that'll do it. Thank you for joining me. We got through this. Like I said, this is it's going to be a great NBA season. Just cross your fingers that everybody can stay healthy from the coronavirus. We have everybody's full team Well, you know, some like the Warriors, they lost Klay Thompson. Some teams already lost players, but still, this is the most deepest talent pool in the NBA. We probably argue in the NBA history. Like when LeBron retires, which probably ain't gonna be no time soon, but when he retires, we still have a great, deep, talented league. So I'm great. I love the NBA, and this has been great. Last year was great. I think this year is gonna be even better with Kevin Durant coming back. So thank you so much for joining me. And sorry, I meant to do this yesterday, but I was like, I needed to get some rest, man. I was dying on the other blog, my normal weekly blog. Today's Sunday, so watch the NFL big games today for playoff picture start getting a little bit more clearer today, I think. So watch out for that. I'm gonna be watching some football today. I'm gonna do some work today though. I'm gonna do some Cyberpunk today. I'm gonna do some Spider-Man today, guaranteed. I'm at least have one video of each up soon, including with this one. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate all the support. Enjoy the NBA season. Tuesday, big doubleheader: Nets, Warriors, and Lakers, Clippers on TNT on Tuesday. They get the season started. It'll be probably big games on all week long, and we just gotta hope that everybody stay healthy. I'm Troy West said, thank you for joining me. Enjoy the NBA season, and I see you on Thursday. We will come Thursday. I'm gonna have just a look at the playoff picture for the NFL. There's no Thursday games for the rest of the year. This game's on Saturdays. I think it's a game Friday actually for Christmas. So I'll come Thursday. I'll preview. Matter of fact, I'll preview that game and the rest of and look at the playoff picture. You have my power rankings and everything. So I'll see you Thursday. Throughout the week, I have some videos up of my video game projects, and I'll see you then. I'm Troy West. Thank you for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.